Hello, sis. Yeah, work is going well. Just send the money for the cement.
For 7 years, Ada worked not one, not two, but three exhausting jobs abroad and sent every penny home to her brother to build a house. But when she finally returned to Nigeria, she discovered the truth her brother had been hiding all along. But before we continue this story, please like this video and subscribe for more emotional stories like this. Ada was the first child of her parents. Growing up in a small village in Nigeria, life had never been easy for the family. Her parents worked tirelessly, yet money was always scarce. The small house they lived in had a leaking roof, cracked walls, and a tiny kitchen made of rusted zinc sheets. Whenever it rained, they placed buckets and plates around the house for the dripping water to fall in. From a young age, Ada had always been the responsible one. She helped her mother cook. She helped her younger siblings with their schoolwork. And when her father fell seriously ill for several months and could no longer work on the farm, Ada started selling chinchin and granuts in the village market after school just to support the family. Despite the hardship, Ada was determined to change the story of her family. Years later, after finishing secondary school and struggling to find stable work, an unexpected opportunity came her way. One afternoon, a distant family friend who had been living in Canada returned to the village for a visit. News of her arrival quickly spread, and many people came to greet her and hear stories about life abroad. When she visited Ada's family, she spoke privately with Ada's parents. She explained that there were opportunities in Canada for Ada to travel with her and work as a caregiver for elderly people. According to her, the job would allow Ada to earn far more money than she ever could in the village and help her build a better future for herself and her family. To Ada's mother, it sounded like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. After several weeks of discussion and preparation, the woman helped with the processing of Ada's travel documents. When the day finally came for Ada to leave Nigeria, the whole family gathered to see her off. Her mother cried tears of joy and fear. Her father placed his hands on her head and prayed long prayers for her success. Her younger brother, Ikenna, hugged her tightly before she boarded the bus that would take her to the airport. "You will make us proud," he said. Ada smiled. She had already made a quiet decision. She would not stay abroad forever. She would work hard, save every possible naira, build her dream house in Nigeria, and one day return home to live peacefully with her family. What Ada did not know was that the house she was dreaming of building would one day become the greatest betrayal of her life. When Ada arrived in Canada, reality quickly replaced the beautiful dreams people had painted about life abroad. Nothing was easy. Life there was nothing like the pictures everybody posted online. Ada quickly realized that if she truly wanted to change her family's future, she would have to work harder than she had ever worked before. Her first job was as a cleaner in a small hotel. Every morning, she woke up before sunrise, rushing to catch the early bus to work. From room to room she went, scrubbing bathrooms, changing bed sheets, vacuuming carpets, and carrying heavy cleaning supplies down long hallways. The job was exhausting. Some days, her back hurt so badly she could barely stand upright. But she never complained because she knew why she was there. After finishing her shift at the hotel, Ada would rush to her second job as a caregiver for an elderly woman. She helped the old woman bath, prepared her meals, cleaned the apartment, and reminded her to take her medication. The elderly woman could barely walk, so Ada spent hours assisting her with the daily activities. By the time she finished, most people would have gone home to rest, but Ada still had one more job. In the evenings, she worked at a small neighborhood restaurant, washing dishes and cleaning the kitchen until late at night. Many nights, she returned home completely exhausted, her feet aching and her body weak from the long hours. Some days, she slept only 3 hours, but every time she felt like giving up, she remembered the leaking roof of her parents' house back in the village. That memory pushed her to keep going. Month after month, Ada saved as much money as she possibly could, living a very simple life and spending almost nothing on herself. After 2 years of relentless work, she had finally saved enough money to buy a small plot of land in her village back in Nigeria. That was the day the dream truly began. For the first time, Ada could finally see her future taking shape. She called her younger brother, Ikenna, and trusted him with the responsibility of supervising the construction of the house. She believed she could trust him with anything. After all, he was family. But thousands of miles away in Nigeria, a very different story was unfolding. Ikenna bought the land, but greed and pride set in. At first, he used only a small portion of the money for himself. He told himself it was nothing serious, just a little, just something he would replace later before the house project needed the money. But temptation has a way of growing. Before long, Ikenna began spending more time with friends who loved gambling. They would gather at betting shops and local bars, placing bets and chasing quick money. Some nights he won, many nights he lost, and each time he lost, he dipped into the money Ada had sent. Then came the parties, the drinking, the flashy lifestyle he had never been able to afford before. Soon, women began to surround him too. Ikenna was living a life he did not work for. The money Ada was sweating and suffering for in Canada was disappearing faster and faster. Instead of laying blocks and raising walls for the dream house, Ikenna was burning through the money on gambling tables, alcohol, and reckless nights. Whenever Ada called to ask about the construction, he always sounded confident. "The house is coming along well," he would say. He would send her pictures of building under construction, but the pictures were not from their land. They were taken from other people's building sites in the village. And because the house was meant to be a surprise gift for their parents, Ada had told no one in the family about it. Not their mother, not their father, no one. She trusted only one person with the entire project, her brother. For 7 long years, the lie continued, and Ada, thousands of miles away, kept working 3 exhausting jobs, believing every sacrifice she made was slowly turning into the house of her dreams. After 7 long years abroad, Ada finally decided it was time to come home. She had saved what she believed was enough money. She was tired of working endlessly. Most importantly, she believed the house she had sacrificed so much for was almost finished. This was the moment she had been dreaming about for years. Without telling anyone, Ada booked her flight back to Nigeria. She wanted to surprise her parents by arriving with the good news that their new house was ready. She imagined the joy on her parents' faces when they finally saw her standing at the door. As the taxi drove into her village, her heart beat with excitement. She pressed her face gently against the window, looking around eagerly. She was hoping to see the house she had worked 3 jobs to build. The village looked almost the same. Nothing much had changed. The old market had a few new stores, few new buildings. A couple of houses had been painted in bright colors. Children ran along the dusty roads, but some of the trees she remembered had been cut down. Finally, the taxi dropped in front of the supposed address her brother had told her about. Ada stepped out slowly, and suddenly she froze. The place was completely empty. Her heart began to race. A strange fear crept into her chest. She was sure she was at the right address. Maybe the house is behind that grove of trees, she thought. Maybe I just can't see it from here. Trying to calm herself, Ada picked up her bag and walked toward the plot. Her heart pounded louder with every step. And then she stopped. Her entire body went cold. There was nothing, no walls, no foundation, no piles of blocks, no building material, nothing. Just a wide piece of land overgrown with dry grass and weeds. For a moment, Ada couldn't breathe. Her mind refused to process what she was seeing. 7 years of relentless work. 7 years of sending every penny home. 7 years of trusting her brother to build a house for her parents. And yet, there was nothing, just empty land. Ada stormed into the house, her rage barely contained. Her parents were stunned to see her. She had not told them she was coming, but they were even more shocked at the anger radiating from her. "Ikenna! Where is Ikenna?" Ada demanded, her voice trembling with fury. Her younger brother stepped out, nervously, drawn by their mother's startled shout. Without hesitation, Ada grabbed him by the collar, her eyes burning with betrayal. "What happened to the money I sent you?" she demanded. "And the house, where is it?" Her parents watched in disbelief as Ikenna's face went pale. Fear replaced the arrogance he had shown for so long. I used it," he stammered, his voice barely audible. "I didn't mean to. I thought I could pay it back. I'm sorry." Her parents were stunned. They had never known what had been happening all these years. Ada's legs gave way, and she sank to the floor, her tears flowing freely. 7 years of hard work. 7 years of sacrifice. 7 years of trust, all gone. Ada wiped her tears, took a deep breath, and made a decision. There was still money she had saved for herself. She would go to the city, start over, and rebuild her life on her own terms. But first, she would make sure Ikenna faced the consequences of what he had done. If you were Ada, what would you do to him, even if he's your own brother? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Please don't forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel. Bye!